Let this video serve as a testament why I would never do a review based on a review. I know there's a lot of people that watch my videos and put credence into what I have to say. They take my word and hold it in high regard. I respect that. And making a video based on this review would be disrespectful and irresponsible to those people. Because the person that wrote this article is highly misinformed, and for me to take his word with any kind of merit and pass it along to you to formulate my opinion and help formulate your opinion on the game, as I said, would be extremely irresponsible. Now, I don't know anything about Game Informer. I don't know much about Matt Burtz. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce his name. But I do know that he wrote this article after playing Backbreaker, and there's many inaccuracies when it comes down to this article. So rather than read it and formulate my opinion on it, I'm going to read into the article and tell you the problems I have with it. Now, the first paragraph here, and I quote, "Armed with the Euphoria engine that has powered the impressive animations for games like Grand Theft Auto 4, The Force Unleashed, Backbreaker aims to take down the NCAA and Madden publisher with its gritty, up-close, and personal brand of football." That is the furthest statement from the truth. If you've watched the Dev Diaries, if you've read anything 505 Games has put out, they have intentionally steered away from saying anything to that respect. They've talked about wanting to make a game that replicated on-field football, the intensity of on-field football, the visuals of on-field football. They do not want to compete against a game that has commentation, that tries to emulate a broadcast, and has cutscenes and replays that mimic a broadcast. Now, that shows me that this person doesn't understand the concept of what Backbreaker is. So therefore, in the first paragraph, I'm already devaluing his opinion because I know he doesn't understand what the game is supposed to be about. I actually believe there's a typographical error in this video, or in this article, and if read improperly, could leave someone with a very wrong opinion of the game. The sentence reads, "The version of the game we played did have varying player skill implemented yet, so we won't know if this will be the case when we play the final game." Now, in terms of the English language, that sentence doesn't even read properly. I believe the sentence should say, "This version of the game we played didn't have varying player skill implemented yet, so we won't know if this will be the case until we play the final game." Now, just reading that would lead you to believe that the game may or may not have varying player skill for quarterbacks, for cornerbacks, for linebackers. However, if you read into it and understand that there probably is a typographical error in it, you understand that there will be those implements in the game when the final version comes out. They just weren't in this preview build of the game. Now, another problem I have is the fact that it's mentioned openly in this article, on the second paragraph here, that only one of the three gameplay modes worked properly. So therefore, I've already conducted that one, this person doesn't understand the object of this game. Two, this person doesn't understand the full gameplay because only one aspect of it works. And three, many parts of the game's engine in terms of the players are not functioning the way they should. So that leads me to believe this is an extreme basic version of this game, and I would have a hard time formulating an opinion properly based on what he's saying. Now, the biggest issue with me is the fact that we all know some things about football. And when we scroll down here, you can see that he says, like all pro football, Backbreaker lacks split-second responsiveness. Well, to me, football isn't about split-second responsiveness. Football is a game of chess. If I am running towards you and you're trying to tackle me, it is my object to juke you before you can tackle me. Therefore, I anticipate your move as you try to anticipate mine. There is no room for split-second responsiveness in replicating football, because football doesn't require a split-second responsiveness to that respect in terms of gameplay. That, I think, is a big problem people have with Madden. I know it's a big reason that when I play All-Pro Football, the game feels and seems a lot more seamless, as he says that this game does. Now, as we continue on to the next paragraph, we're actually going to skip page 3 and look at the second paragraph on page 4. This is the first time this gets mentioned. Quote, "The diverse set of tackling animations also doesn't hurt." Now, to me, anybody that's known anything about Backbreaker knows the game does simply not have tackling animations. Again, that's the whole point of the game, was to build it off with Euphoria. so you don't have tackling animations. And again, when we scroll down to the second to last paragraph, he mentions, quote, to show off its impressive tackling animations, Backbreaker also features a tackle alley minigame that places you in control of a running back who must score touchdowns against increasingly large waves of defenders. Again, to me, this person does not understand much about what Backbreaker is meant to do. He played the game where various components of the game were missing or not working, and he obviously feels that Euphoria has allowed for tackling animations to be implemented in the game, when in fact, that is the root of why the game was created, to remove tackling animations. So therefore, I do have a problem with anybody who is going to read this article, not in depth, but rather just read it, and formulate an opinion and share it with others. Because again, that person is being irresponsible, and that person doesn't respect his viewers. And again, no matter how many PMs or text messages or comments people leave me to make a video on Backbreaker, to me it's irresponsible to read articles like this and then go formulate an opinion and share it with you. Instead, I would rather show you some inaccuracies in the article and say, do you really think you can lend credence to this article based on what you know now? So again, this is why I really don't formulate an opinion on something until I played it, unless I have a prior version of the game I can back reference. And then I can say, okay, here's the problems that this game has, they need to be fixed and resolved. With Backbreaker, we simply don't have enough hands-on information. To say that this person must have knowledge about the game because they were advanced a preview copy, to me, doesn't say much, given the fact that, again, this person seemingly doesn't understand much about Backbreaker, the concept of it, and the reason Euphoria was being implemented into a football game.